Greetings, KNES 597, 598. I'm Dr. Brian Campbell. I have a PhD in biomechanics. They were giving them out alphabetically at Auburn. But my background is in athletic training, undergraduate exercise science, master's, and PhD in biomechanics. I'm the physics biomechanics professor here. But I also have a big background in fundraising and professional development, and I love helping students. That's really what I love to do is mentoring and helping students. So I was asked to instruct this class. Thank you for your patience. This is a brand new class, and so I'm kind of the type of person that wants to make sure that I have a plan, that it's not that everything's right, but that it's optimal for my liking. I'm constantly brainstorming and trying to run thought scenarios, and I feel comfortable now. I posted your syllabus on the old Moodler, and I'm going to go over it with you here because as a dyslexic, a, 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 a visual learner and a descriptive learner. Reading is tough for me. However, I have the written syllabus posted. Um, in addition, I feel like an infomercial, but wait, there's more. I'm going to give you your instructions for your introductory video, which is part of your class assignment introduction video. So that's going to come at the end of this video. So I hope everybody's doing well. I know it's crazy times. We still have a lot of snow over here in this area. So just wanted to give you an introduction to the professional development class. Start from the beginning. The earth cooled, dinosaurs came. So on the syllabus, you'll see that it's a living document, meaning that we can update things as things come up. We can kind of update it. And I'm all about feedback. I don't know what I don't know. So your feedback is always welcomed and encouraged. I will say, if you just take care of your stuff, do what I ask you to do, learn some cool things along the way. Remember, this class is meant to teach you and learn things that you may not get in a typical class, right? Like almost like behind the scenes stuff of how the world works from a professional development standpoint. So it's not so much of learning the 10 lists of this and cramming a bunch of stuff. It's exploring things like resume writing and interview skills and how to meet the right people, how to get people to know you, strategies for interviews, conferences, conventions, coaching sessions, for some of you that want to work in athletics. So I think it's going to be real cool as we develop this. So going over your syllabus if you want to look at it or print it out. So I have a little bit of my background. I give all my students my cell phone. Text first, so I don't think you're trying to extend my car warranty. But my thought process is if you need something, if you have a question, clarification, let's handle it now so that you don't have to wait. Um, so just text me. Practice your professional development. This is who I am. This is what the class I'm in. This is what I need. This is kind of a combined class. So you see 597 and 598. Uh, everybody's getting the same information in this professional because it's a new class. So that's why both of those numbers are up there. All right, let's get to the most important part. You don't have to purchase anything. Hip hip, hooray. I have my YouTube channel on here, my class YouTube channel. That's where all of our podcast episodes are going to be. I am going to post them on the Moodle page. I'm going to email you the link. You can find it, okay, when I do have a guest. Depending on other experts' time, I have no working clue about when these will be scheduled. I know I'm trying to have 5 solid, good, experienced podcast episodes with good knowledge. So we already had the first one with our director, Dr. Mayo, which is posted. I'm open to suggestions. I'm already kind of brainstorming some people within my tree of networking. But if you have suggestions, if you have opinions, bring it on. Bring it, bring it. So I'm working on that. So there's my YouTube channel. The grading scale's pretty standard. I don't expect anyone in this class to need to contact me for extra points, curves, or special treatment. Just do your stuff and we're good, okay? All right, so let's take a look at the course evaluation. What's going to go into you guys getting an A? Our podcast summary. So, for example, the first podcast is posted. Listen to it. There's a lot of good stuff in there from this morning. You may want to listen to it more than once. I'm going to post a summary, um, uh, some summary questions. Guys, basically, it's one to make sure you listen to the podcast, which I know you will. And then second, feedback. Like, what were your thoughts on this topic? What are some insights? What did you learn? It- uh, it's more about getting your feedback, your perspective, than anything. Okay. So the pod class summaries, a pod class. Get it? My brain tries to come up with ideas. Then a pod class guest assignment. This is really cool. What is going to happen here is I'm going to ask my guests to give a personal assignment from their perspective, something that might have helped them, or it may help you develop your professional development strategies that I never even thought about. Right? I'm limited in my experience with this, and so we want outside perspectives and views. And so at the end of our pod class today, Dr. Mayo gave you guys an assignment. These assignments will not have necessarily a fixed date. So, like for instance, for this one, it was kind of like at the end of the semester. So that will show appropriately. Like I'm going to create on Moodle uh, pod class guest assignment 1, and the due date is at the end of the semester. So that's going to be malleable with each guest. Okay. And then your final pod class, like almost kind of like your final project, is going to be you and me, you and I, scheduling our own podcast. And I'm going to be the host. You're going to be my guest, and we're going to talk about things from class, from you. What's your plans? Where do you want to go? What are some things? It's just you and I. And those I will make private. You have to have the link. So, in other words, it'll just be between you and me. I'll send you the link, and then you could feel free to send it or share it or do what you want with it. Okay. And then the introduction video is 10%. I also try to describe the different assessments, but again, English isn't, writing isn't really my thing. Talking is more my thing. So if you have any questions, but I basically try to summarize those. So let's get your introduction video. 10% of your grade is just literally you introducing yourself to me. Doesn't have to be perfect. All it has to be is informative. Tell me about you. I want a minimum. Guys, you could go on a filibuster. I'll listen to every second. Minimum of 2 minutes. Minimum. There's a graduate class. You should be able to talk about yourself for 2 minutes. Where are you from? What brought you to Lafayette, Louisiana? What are your goals? What are your interests? What's your dream job? What do you look forward to this class? What were some of your favorite classes? It's just between you and I. What were some of your least favorite classes? That's valuable too. That's how we learn. You either win or you learn. So at least 2 minutes about yourself. What do you like to do? What are some of your hobbies? Do you have a favorite pro sports team, college sports team? What are some things you enjoy doing? What do you do for your graduate assistantship? What do you do for work? You know, those kind of things. Notice I'm leaving it open-ended. I'm just giving you some ideas and suggestions so you could kind of jot down some things before you record your video. But I want it to be uniquely you. I want to get to know you. Okay? Face to a name do a story, and no one could tell your story like you. So that is your first assignment. I'm going to set a due date on that by, let's say, February 1st. Plenty of time. Plenty of time, okay? Plenty of time. And I'll send a reminder. But guys, things have been crazy with the snow and everything, right? So I don't want to put pressure on you. I want this class to be stress-free and like you're a metaphorical sponge absorbing useful information that genuinely you're going to use, enjoy, and want more of. Okay, so that's why I'm not like, do Monday. I'm not about that life. So let's say do February 1st, your introduction video, and I'll send a couple reminders. But guys, you could do it tonight. You could do it today. You could do it whenever. I'm just trying to not have an approach of throwing all this up on you now. Okay. All right. A little bit about me before I end. My favorite pro football team is the Saints. Miss you, Drew Brees. Favorite pro baseball team is the Mets. My favorite basketball team, I grew up being a 76ers fan back in the day, but now obviously I cheer for the Pelicans. I hope they do well. So, love college sports, love college football especially. Um, I love pop culture. I love movies and pop culture talk and all that kind of cool stuff. Memes, love memes. So that's left two sons, and one of them's a senior, and the other's 15 years old, and they love. They call me a boomer, whatever that means, but I love learning their talk, their lingo, and so that's a little bit about me. Remember, for your introduction video, let me know about you. Be specific. The more information you give me about your professional aspirations, the better I could turn that around and help you with some of my guests, some of my topics, some of our content. Okay. So help me help you guys with this assignment. Yes, I know I wear my shirt is inside out. I'm eccentric. I have bursitis in my shoulders, and wearing baggy shirts inside out, the seams don't create friction. I'm weird. But we're all uniquely different, and we should embrace it. Accentuate your strengths and accommodate your weaknesses. And that's a good strategy to have for life. All right, you guys. So, your first assignment is in the verbal books, your introduction video. All you have to do is send me a link, email me a link to your video, and I'll mark off that you did it. Again, I'm going to post the first podcast summary later on, probably tonight, with some questions. That's not going to be due for a while. I'm going to give you time to make sure you listen to the podcast once or twice. So again, no pressure. And I hope everybody is okay. And let me know if y'all have any questions. I hope this is a great semester, and I hope you guys take a lot away from this class. Take care.